Welcome to Friday, V. Get ready, because I'm going to give you my take on what constitutes art. But first, I need to talk about your first video reply to me, or as I prefer to think of it, my emasculation with a rusty spoon. You've got the cool colored background, and the music going, and the cool video editing techniques, and the color changes. I feel so inadequate. What are you trying to do to me here? Oh, and don't get me started on your first question. Let's just launch right into it. What is art? One of, the biggest questions humanity has ever asked itself. Why don't you ask me why some people are evil and if God exists? Okay, head in the game, Garrett, let's go. My take on art is that it's a confusing beast, but less so in some cases. Nobody's gonna argue that the Mona Lisa, or the film Citizen Kane, or the book The Great Gatsby is not art. Other things are a little more questionable, so some hoity-toity douche nozzle puts a toilet in an art museum and calls it art. Well, is it? Hell, I don't honestly know. I guess art, like beauty, is to some degree in the eye of the beholder. Wait. That might be it. To me, art needs to be beautiful in some way, or at least so very, very skillfully executed that it contains its own kind of beauty in the execution itself. There are some great, really great books and movies out there that aren't necessarily beautiful, but are so well made and excellently put together that they contain their own weird kind of beauty. Breaking Bad isn't a beautiful story necessarily. It's dark, it's a little bit depressing and kind of off-putting, but it's so skillfully shot. The story is so well crafted. The acting ability of Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul and everybody else in the cast is so top-notch that it possesses its own weird kind of beauty. And it is art. I will fight you on this. I'm sure I don't need to fight you on this. You probably totally agree with me, but I'll fight anybody else. So through that lens, I don't see a toilet in the Met and think that it's art. Maybe it is, but I don't know why. I'm sorry, I know that makes me uncultured, but I just don't. Continuing swiftly onward, I have a personal preference in the art that I enjoy that it has a positive impact. I don't like art that degrades people or groups or even institutions unless those institutions are really messed up. But that doesn't mean that it's not art. It's nice to imagine a world where all artists work for the good of humanity, but that seems like a dream that humanity is far too awake to have. That being said, there are a lot of artists out there fighting the good fight and doing their best to improve things, and they don't have to be epic works of amazing scope like your Harry Potter and your Lord of the Rings. Check out this video I just discovered. It's an old school Disney animator who created his own little animated short and put it on YouTube. It's less than 3 minutes long, and it's as emotionally moving as some of my favorite movies ever. You asked an interesting thing, V, whether anything could be turned into art if it was worked on long enough or given enough consideration. To answer that question, I will submit the novel Unicorn Western by two of my very good friends, Sean Platt and Johnny B. Truman. This is it, that's the cover, and it's exactly what it sounds like. They had this admittedly stupid idea on a podcast one day and decided, let's write a short novella about it. And pretty soon it had spiraled into this 250,000 word epic that is awesome. It is truly amazing. So that goes to show you that even a stupid idea, well executed, can be excellent art. And yes, this is excellent art. Don't let the pink gun smoke fool you. But that brings me to another topic that I want to get your take on. There are things, works of art, that most people agree are pretty terrible. Films like The Room and books like Twilight. But sometimes we love them. They're called guilty pleasures, V, and they're a very interesting phenomenon, so I want to hear your take on them. What do you think? What are your guilty pleasures? Let me know on Monday. Ooh, I'm back on the end screen again. Yay! Oh, it's such a relief to have a previous episode. Oh, last week I felt so off balance, like I was leaning to the right.